Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey. I'm That Resolves, and here we are today taking a look at this FJS Zuberi deck. And I believe it was Sunu who has been playing this recently. Probably linked to the decklist in the description below, but I've been impressed with how Zuberi is sort of being picked up after sort of being relegated to the meme tier of cards. And you know, the little extra point of power it gained from the buffs and nerfs patch a couple of months ago, you know, just made it a lot more playable. And as a 4-5 for 4, you know, the body's sort of fine, but really what you want is the other two abilities. To a lesser extent, when Zuberi attacks, the top unit of your deck gets plus power equal to his power. So mostly just giving something +4, +0. It's not like a mini Icaria, but the real important part of this card is the Inspire ability, as units you draw get double damage. So we've got a couple of ways of drawing units here. Aside from just messing around with Cauldron Cookbook, sorry. We can draw units from the market, so obviously just like really high impact to get a double damage Rizahn or Vicious Highwayman. But it's also pretty nice with Dark Turn. So Dark Turn, if we've got something like a Stonepowder Alchemist, like maybe it's already been used up, it's got Destiny, it's in the Void now, just Dark Turn it, you know, it's now going to get +1/+1, it's going to have double damage, it's going to wallop your opponent in the face for 4 damage, and you're going to gain 4. And let me tell you, the Stonepowder Alchemists are really nice with the Outlands Warlord because they have Destiny. Effectively, on some turns, you can actually just draw more than the regular amount of cards, because if you would Destiny a Destiny unit, that'll come into play, it'll get the Inspire ability, and they'll draw another card. If that's another unit, that's going to get the ability. This is probably a tightening of the FJS Cookbook deck that has been going around, and I think it did really well in the reunion tournament. And I think it's just sort of tightened itself down a bit now. We're not really going big with like Sword of the Sky King. We're just going to dominate the mid game, and we're just going to be using our Cauldron Cookbook just to be drawing like a bunch of gas, you know, because you're just going to be drawing stuff like double damage Vicious Highwaymans, you know, same for Varas and into these Destiny units. We don't really have much in the way of early game. It's pretty much just like Torch and Annihilates. But you know, the deck is just about the mid-range of the game, so like turns 3 through 7 is where we really want to be taking over. So let's go on the ladder and let's see what we can do. Okay, it's worth noting as well, this sounds actually probably okay because we don't have Torch, Lingering Influence will turn our seat on, so yes, it's probably fine. So worth noting as well that we do have Statuary Maiden in our market, and Maiden's actually really good against Tele combo. Because generally when we're playing Tele combo, we only have like one. Yeah, Stone is probably fine. We generally only have like one Banish and one Z Initiation, and Initiation is not very good against Stat Maiden, let me tell you. Okay, so let's start with playing against the Combre deck. I played this matchup a couple of times. As good as Vara is, I think we actually just want to find our just want to find more power, don't we? Because we've got like enough things to churn through opponents, so let's get rid of that. So I suppose if our opponent plays like a teacher or maybe even a student up, I'll just like torch it. Okay, maybe our opponent's playing like the bigger version. Yeah, if this is fine then, we'll just play out the Stonepowder, just get something on the board and start moving ahead. But yeah, if you're playing something like Stat Maiden against Tele combo, it's very difficult to actually go off because like all the units that you have to like sacrifice just because of, you know, the board limit of 12. Yeah, just aggressively trading everything. Right, Zuberi, cool. That'd be nice next turn. But for now, Dark Turn is a bit of a combo with Zuberi, but I think we just want to find more power and, in particular, more like shadow sources. Because right now it'd be a little bit embarrassing if we drew a Vara and couldn't play it. Right, but it's probably found like secret pages there. Yeah, well, find the way, secret pages. Get a little bit confused with the names on this card. Yep, so our opponent's just got 2 depleted powers in hand, well, 1 depleted. And I think we're just going to fire up the Zuberi. I think next turn, if we draw a power and it's undepleted, I'll probably just like grab a Cookbook, but I think generally you can wait till later in the game to do that. Against this sort of deck. They do have a bunch of like big stuff like this Wheelbarrow Behemoth. Well, we're just going to annihilate that because we're already sort of struggling on power. I don't want to make it worse for ourselves by just letting our opponent go like straight up to 7 or 8. So good cards in this matchup. Like, Stat Maiden's pretty good as well. But I think this is definitely like the bigger version. And I think we're probably fine with this. If we find like a Shadow Source, we'll just kill it with Vicious Highwayman. Just attack both our dudes. Yep, nothing too exciting to Dark Return yet. Just keep attacking the opponent here. I think we'll go and get a Stat Maiden actually. Yeah, Dark Return's not looking very exciting here actually, so we'll just try and get this. I do like that the influence on Stat Maiden is really easy to do because it's just a single. Maybe we could have put away the Vicious Highwayman, but when we do find it, it might be good. Like if we found a Shadow Source this turn, pretty good because we'll just be able to pop this, gain a few lives, and just have another threat in play. Looks like it's that time of year where everyone starts messing around with fireworks, so I guess recording during the daytime is going to be necessary. Well, I can just start turn here. Well, let's play Maiden first. We're attacking, this just makes it a lot more difficult for our opponent to block. If they make a third Desert Marshal, which it looks like they're doing, we will torch the original one. I mean, this is sort of bad that we, you know, paid 4 for a 2/4, but, you know, I've still got some aggression here. Got the Stone Cudgel as well, which next turn should help us push a bit damage. It's probably going to go on the Extra Merchant. Rats, well, the 6/6. Okay, well, you know, better lucky than good and all that. So just get rid of this, and I think we're just going to put the Cudgel on here just to push a bit more damage. Means our opponent can't block our biggest thing very effectively, so they have to block like the 4/5, and this way they take 7 here. And then, you know, probably just dead next turn. So, cool. Oh, cool, Paradox. This sounds probably fine, especially if we're against like Skycrag, which I think is what Paradox is known for. So we'll fire for City Chaos, just if there's any sort of nonsense on turn 1, rather just deal with it. Yep, so, okay, so no only Ronins there, so we'll get our second Fire Source because we've got 2 of everything here now. So I didn't register there if our opponent had a pause or not, but yeah, Duskgrade is getting dealt with. Like, nope. Because Berserk is pretty bad for you. I call it, well, just fire this little dude off. Get to gain some lives, it's just sort of like a nuisance blocker. I mean, our opponent can permafrost it, but if they do, you know, we'll get to tide it later on with a Harsh Rule, and we'll get to shoot. Whoa! Second sight Duskgrader. What's this? Our opponent's up to something. They are not cards you expect to sort of see in the same deck. Well, so our opponent's missed power and had second sight, so we should be doing okay here. I mean, our hands are not really developed very well, I'll be honest. Okay, so another Duskgrader. Sort of very happy to see this because our hand is sort of awful right now. We'll attack, let our opponent have the opportunity to block. And I suppose we're going to Crest, and it's going to be a decision with either slay this or make it bottom that. How close are we to lifesteal? If we do this, we get lifesteal, so we get to... They get 2 draws at Berserk. I just prefer they didn't. We can tide it whatever they got because now we've got a lifesteal Rizahn to sort of finish it off, but just our opponent seems to be working really hard to get the Berserk, so I'm wondering what it is they're doing exactly. Okay, this is nice because we just get to attack in, see if our opponent blocks. I suspect they don't, just because their unit's sort of higher value than ours here. And then we'll just Rizahn it down. I think a few months ago I was talking about this in sort of like Primal Ikari decks, how it's just absolutely miserable to be on the wrong side. Obviously our opponent stumbled here, but I imagine this is like a fair game, you know, we'll just play like whatever nonsense in the early game, and then there's a Harsh Rule, and you know, you've come into the board, all your things have been wiped up, and you're just like, this is the turn where I'm going to play something, you know, to sort of refill, and then Rizahn turns up, just has lifesteal and kills you one thing. It's just like, well, it's getting polymorphed. This is a wild list that Brandon's playing here. So we'll play out 7 power. I'm not going to play out any other power just because we don't have merchants. But this way, do we have enough? No, we need 8 power to be able to go and fetch a cookbook and activate it at the same time. But with this much in play, we should be in good shape, really. Well, we are getting like polymorph tribal here. So I'm a bit scared. But I think just because we've got 2 4-drops, I am going to play that power. If you do draw like a merchant, you know, just boop this harsh rule away. But with just a million T power in play. Suspecting that this sort of like Dust Graded deck isn't playing Hailstorm to double Hailstormers. Cool. I'm trying to find like a non-passive aggressive emote for that corner that is just like good game, but they all just seem to be the most aggressive because I'm trying to build up like all the shadow sort of like unlocks seemingly at level 61. So I've got another like 39 levels to go, but I've been a big fan of the shadow emotes. Okay, well, here we're on the draw. This hand is missing sort of like Justice, so we'll chuck that one back. There we go, sort of similar problem. But we've got sort of a functional hand. We can play and then activate Cookbook to try and dig us a little bit deeper, but this hand is looking very slow. Yeah, get muted. A big fan of emotes, but just let's not go too wild here. So Vara is currently unplayable because we don't have any shadow sources, so we'll just have to bottom that. Okay, gonna guess that our opponent's playing that big, oh, even bigger combo because they're playing this little dude. Guess we just sort of like need to set up and just make sure this harsh rule happens before our opponent kills us, which is something that they can do, especially if they're able to like ramp out quite a lot. But otherwise, just taking one is just like whatever. I've been actually really impressed by Ratro, Aurelian Merchant. I'm going to get value off my cookbook before we disjunction it. I mean, I assume our opponent's just gone and got something like a Asada unit though. Yep. So just activating Cookbook. Oh cool, got a Zuberi. So we've got a threat as well, which is probably where you want to be, just to get your threats to happen. Well, if we're still around at the time, we'll be able to gain some value off this Temple Scribe here. But I suppose it's just ooh, Rizahn good. Now, is it like cards that I'm playing in this deck that I originally looked at and was just like, why though? Like, I've been a fan of Zuberi and like the decks I've played it in, but it's just like, when do you play it? Because like, you can't play it in Stone Scar because you've just got like the best 4-drops in the game in Stone Scar, really. That fireworks show is ridiculous. I think we'll just play the little Zuberi here. Yeah, I think Vara's good now because this will stop any sort of nonsense with Sword Unit. Obviously, our opponent's got like really good targets just to be sacrificing. Yeah, this. Why is the fireworks at this time of day? It's honestly like only just tea time. It's like 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So our opponent's only got 2 up, so I'm going to attack, get my free attack in, and then I'm just going to harsh rule it because they can't really do anything here. It's like boop. That is a big enough board for me to not want anything to do with. Then Rizahn doesn't have lifesteal yet. Oh, cool. So Merchant's good. A little bit sad that Zuberi got silenced. But that was sort of enough for me to be happy. So what do we get? I think we probably get a Stat Maiden, but I'm not sure if we do it yet or not. It's like our opponent is never going to sacrifice here. I assume that they have something worth. Let's put a second cookbook down anyway. They probably got like a Vanquish or something which makes this sort of awkward, but if they don't, you know, it makes it really awkward for them to attack. And if they do answer this, you know, hopefully we're getting closer to our 7th power. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, I don't want to play against Martial Ironthorn. Yeah, that's not the combo you think it is. But yeah, he's still getting 2 powers out of me. But yeah, nope. That's enough of that. Probably, actually. Yeah, let's just kill this. We don't have lifesteal quite yet, but you know, we've got our clock going on. Opponent then can't attack with Martial Ironthorn. And then I think next turn we'll probably just fetch back this Vara. And I think I'll just snap block there. If our opponent wants to give us Martial, we will just snap block every time. I'm pretty glad that wasn't like a Sandstorm Titan, because that made me feel awkward. Yeah, let's just make a big Vara. Have we got lifesteal yet? No, one away. So our opponent gets a sort of awful decision here. They're still very live for like a... We don't need lifesteal yet. They're still very live to find like a Silence Effect or a Vanquish. Silence Effect a little bit less effective because we do still have the 8-9 body in play at that point. I assume our opponent's probably going to be trying to build up towards the 15 power. Yeah, so given the choice here, I will be just blocking the Martial just because I think that represents sort of a bigger threat for us. Because I think they can get to 15 power before we're able to find the time to Ixtal Merchant Fort out over Rizahn to then tag team like Torch Plus to make like... Okay, so we've got the Annihilate anyway, just do that now, no messing. Gives us lifesteal on both our threats. And we're getting for 13 damage. And I think, honestly, we'll just Cauldron Cookbook. Could have maybe got a little bit more damage in there because of the Vicious Highwayman, but I think we're honestly just fine for what we've got to play. Don't actually put my opponent off having Harsh Rule, and if they do have Harsh Rule, still get to play the Highwayman anyway. Because I was aware of like a big sort of combo deck that had been played recently. I think it was Danky McBuds was playing one in one of the tournaments that happens in the week. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, we've got Martial as well. So actually, I think what we'll do is sort of weird because like we can just ping one of these and then kill it with the torch. But I think I'm just going to ping this for one. And then I'll probably like have a little bit of a think of how they actually block here. Because we can effectively turn on. Oh, that's not how I wanted you to block. Well, I suppose in that case, we'll just like swap Highwayman out. Just grab Rizahn, and then next turn we'll just double torch up on it. I could have also just dark returned Rizahn, but just don't let him see it coming. Spook him. Technically it's gone Halloween, so we can't effectively spook people anymore. We now have to Christmas people. So Zine Initiation here, well, they haven't got it, but even Zine Initiation there and hitting like a the gain life land wouldn't have been enough. So boop boop. I do like how proactive this deck is compared to like other sort of FJS decks, which had sort of strayed more towards the sort of very slow and dirtily winning with Sworded Sky King. Okay, so we do have 2 fire sources to be able to get in there with... Well, just mute this opponent. So we're able to get in there with the Cookbook. We've also got like double fire and single, so we could get by with the torches, but I think that the 2 dark returns just don't really do anything. There's a lot of matchups where, like, if you're supposed to play Permafrost because you're on Skycrag, where you just never get to dark return anything. So I think this is a hand that I actually want to redraw. This is similar, but you know, it's a little bit worse because it's not got a Cookbook in it. But let's fire off Crest of Edges. There's very few like 1-drops that I actually want to take care of. There's mostly the 2s, so stuff like Champion of Fury. I just put Instigate if opponents are playing that. But let's get Seat going now because opponent will be able to play a 2 now. So if there's a Teach or anything like that, we'll just pop it. I think even an Initiate I would have gone for. But we're just going to draw a Crest. We're going to play him. Pretty happy with that. What? Ixtal Merchant's great. Next time we're just going to play Vara, pretty much whatever our opponent does. If our opponent play some sort of nonsense, then maybe I'd have torched it just to make sure I get the buff, but I think let's play this out as a 5/6, just the Shadow Sandstorm Titan. Yep, I know it's sort of fine. We'll get it back at some point. Our opponent does have Banish in their deck, so I was thinking of just getting next to Merchant and playing it. But then if they banish in like the Cookbook, they're not banishing on actual threats. But yeah, this is fine. Just going to play a threat every turn, and then if you don't deal with one, we get to play Cookbook. Ooh, Vicious Highwayman. Vicious Highwayman's probably good, because even if our opponent like Iron's here, we still get to torch the Iron, and we get to gain some lives. If our opponent banishes here, then torch is probably the worst outcome, really. Didn't think about that one. But our Void is going to be stocked. If we find like a Zuberi and a Dark Return, we're in great shape. So let's play Vara. It's quite likely that this torch is going to be dead, so at some point Paul's going to change it for something else. Our opponent's deck... Whoa! Our opponent just hates fun, apparently, just like 3 Annihilates. I'll let him, play a little bit more to the board before we fire off this harsh roll. Okay, so they've got their Cauldron Cookbook, but their power's also a little bit tighter than ours, so let's grab ours. Rather than grabbing a bar to deal with theirs, we get to like block here, then after blocks, torch their thing. And then we've got more power in play before we activate ours, so I think we're in good shape. Our opponents hopefully just run out of removal now. Yep. Snap that off. And then that's end of their turn, so they've got no opportunity to like Dark turn it back or any of that nonsense. After that next turn, let us fire off Cookbook. And yeah, it's just like whatever, don't matter. I do feel slightly behind because I've also got like a million cards in hand, but we have both Cookbook in. And we've got more power in play, so maybe ours is better. Taking the Sabotage here is pretty brutal for us. Do we have enough to just like have it all? Yeah, we've got 5 power here. Okay, so got Torch. What do we want actually? We can sort of pick whatever we want here. External Merchant can grab us something out of the market, which you can't see whilst you've got the Void open. Great, great. I've also been through like 3. Yeah, let's just make this. Let's make a Vara. I've got like an 8/9 lifesteal deadly. Then it's us with the threat in play, whilst our opponent's twiddling the thumbs with a Cookbook. I do like that, although getting a Merchant would have been right there as well, I guess, because we could have got like a Rizahn or something. But this is effectively a Rizahn at this point. And we're going to wallop our opponent right now. Oh yes, and we've got the Sandstorm Titan covered. Like, boom! I love how into it like units get when they've got lots of power. Also, as we've got lifesteal unit in, if we do hit like any firebombs, it's sort of okay. Do we activate? Yeah, let's get greedy. Let's activate. Our opponent, if they want to play the Sandstorm Titan, that's basically an entire turn. So, oh, have we got him dead? Yeah, because we've got 8/11 with the second torch. Yeah, our opponent's dead. Nice. So that was the Cookbook mirror. That was fun. Oh, okay. So if we had like an additional... we've got 2 scouts. Yeah, let's keep it. I'm sure we played against you like a couple of games ago, but I can't remember what they're on. So this hand could be very good if we're playing against like sort of Skycracker nonsense. Go on, be Stone Sky aggro. We'll be very happy if you are, because we've got like 2 torches. Slay's probably okay, because if our opponent's playing like Gren, he's still got some really high value targets. Yeah, it's like Gren's. That's what it's just Crest in time. Yeah, we want more power. If we're going to be cookbooking, then more power is good, really. Except it just means that you can play it. You can just play all the things that you draw. Okay, so we're playing as like FPS Scream here. That's not more of a nuisance. There's very few slay targets there because you don't want to be playing like slow speed removal. Do we torch this and then let them have it back? Yes, this is sort of awkward now. I assume that if we don't get like the actual like god hands, then we probably struggle. So Annihilate is generally not very good against this deck. I don't think they play Vara in it. Yeah, because it's just Queen and Highwayman they play. So Annihilate's probably rubbish, and we can just sort of like torch anything else. We'll pass the turn now without playing Cookbook. So if to play like a Champion of Fury, I'd rather just torch that. Yeah, torch this, I guess. So we've got some sort of fast spell. Maybe it's a Devour. I think if it was a Devour, they might have just used it, unless they're trying to save that up for a Madness like combo turn. I suspect we play our Zuberi and it gets Madnessed. Did we bomb this? Well, guess not. So I assume we get Madnessed here, but if our opponent misses the power, they can't Madness and Devour. They could only Madness Combust, and we've got no second target for them to actually combust. I think we probably do need to be a little bit aggressive with this, though. Just like, probably not block here, just in case it's like some sort of nonsense. Then just like start attacking an out turn. The power level, yeah, combust's fine. The power level of our opponent's deck is sort of a nuisance. I am hoping though that it doesn't get deleted from the game. I don't really want to see Hornet Scream just only hit 3 or less. I suppose we'll just finally play out the Cookbook. And well, we can't die from 15, I don't think. Which is like famous last words against this sort of deck. But yeah, I don't really like how we just delete like decks from the game, especially because it's sort of becoming less and less powerful things you can do. I think what you really need is just like a rotation, really. Right. Yep, this is fine. Sort of. How many things do we have? Just one. Oh dear. Well, let's play Stonepowder Alchemist then. So I probably just have like a fast spell here. Is it just a torch? Like torch our thing's fine. Yep. That just means that alongside having a couple of firebombs in the deck, we've also got something that will firebomb our opponent for 2. Okay, so here's the Champion of Fury. So I suspect we're just like never going to get a good target for this Annihilate ever. So yep, we are annihilating a free 1/1 grinding that our opponent got by playing power. Good, good. This is our life now. But we've got lifesteal, so you know, always just working towards something. So that's a little bit of a crest of glory here. That's about that. If it was Stonepowder Alchemist, I'd have perhaps just drawn a card and slayed a thing. So this is sort of rough. I mean, obviously we'll have to kill the biggest thing. But that just give our opponent the option to then scream it back. But they've got a bunch of good things to scream in here, like Carrion Merchant, because Carrion Merchant goes and fetches like, I don't know, Madness. But just 2 cards in hand, you know, hopefully we should be okay here, just to try and stabilize. Yeah. So Madness is also bad for us, but if our opponent's not got anything else, yeah, they've got Madness here, but just Madness is fine. I would take 7, but then we are at 5 when we're playing like a deck with 5 bombs in it, so it's pretty risky. I think we just activate our trap card. Okay, so we've got an extra merchant, which is good. What do we want? Probably just more lifesteal, I think. I'm not slaying one of these when we can just have effectively the same thing just by trading this away. Highwayman's probably the same, but you know, I do like Rizahn. Just kills like a bigger threat. I won't play something like a Dusk Raid, we get to just pop it with Rizahn. Okay, cool. So our opponent's missed, and you know, they've seen it, we've just gone to the market, so they know they're probably in trouble. So I think I might actually play a few extra games with this deck, just because we're so close to master. Okay, Lauren Man might play some sort of Valkyrie's deck. So is this hand good against that? And we've got 1 shadow. So actually probably not. I mean, we've got like interactive spells like Torch and Annihilate. And if we find like another shadow source, then Highwayman's good at picking up like Ikaris and stuff. But I think realistically we just need to redraw that. Just find something a little bit more high impact. And this is not it. So I suspect we're not going to do too well here. It's like the original card back as well, cool. You don't see that very often anymore. Slayer's gonna have to get out of there just because anything that isn't a fire source sort of has to go in the bin. Drawing the Cookbook was a little bit daggers. Okay, so cool. We got Crest of Chaos just in time as well. I will keep that Seek power just because it's going to help us to fix our power, but this is getting zapped. We don't want to face down like a turn 3 Amelie. Even though we do have the answer for the Amelie, just don't want to enable it. If our opponent's got Privilege rank in hand, they are playing that Privilege rank like they're paying free for it. They're not getting it for free. So I should just go and grab a fire source and then just like play this Cauldron Cookbook. Just like get in there. Our opponent does have the threat where we don't, which is sort of a nuisance. Sort of hoping that our opponent just plays that Cookbook plus like Icaria and we get to shoot Icaria. That'd be pretty nice. Our opponent's just like a complete like genius. Oh, no, I've got to shoot that. I guess everyone's seen how good Zuberi can be. Yeah, let's stop that. I do like how Zuberi can just sort of like do broken stuff though. Well in duo. We get a break here. Another Cookbook. I don't mind if I do. So, play our power. Super happy about these, like this absolute war zone I'm living in. So I'm not sure if I actually want like multiple Cookbooks, especially like against fire merchants who can just like double bar you. So let's just boot this, and I think I should get Statuary Maiden, but I also just want to get Rizahn. It's a little bit greedy because we're only at 5 power. Yeah, Stat Maiden is probably better, isn't it? Because then we can start like really going big with these sort of these cudgels. No, Torch is fine. It's not really what we want to be because now we're at quite a low life total. Our opponent's finally been able to play the Cauldron Cookbook they got. Well, there's the 6 power. So if we just make Stat Maiden here. Uh-oh. So if our opponent makes an Icaria and activates it now. Valkyrie and Enforcer, that's not fair. Well, at least we still get to make blocks. 2-4 does a sort of okay job against this. So we can actually just go and get Ixtal Merchant, because this will get out of Vicious Highwayman, get us the Rizahn that I probably should have got in the original in the first place, and just make some blocks down here. Hopefully our opponent doesn't kill like our big boy, because then we're pretty dead. But yep, just making the attack in the air is fine by me, because hopefully we'll get to shoot that down with the Greatbow Master. Rats. Well, I guess the 4-3 is like technically better than the 3-3. Do we get to attack for 4 here? I don't really think we do. I think maybe next turn. Is there anything here that we can get? Maybe we grab a ball just to turn off our opponent's Cookbook. So I'm hoping our opponent misses on removal just so we get an attack in. Even if it's just like Finest Hour or something in the kill our finger. I just really want to go, just gain a few more lives really. So maybe we can buy some time. Okay, well they've got double Cookbook in play, which means that I'm very happy just to blow them both up and just be the only one of us with a Cookbook in play. Sadly we don't get like to make any sick plays like Merchant in back the bar. But let's just cut our opponent's draw steps down to just 1. And it'll be us with a big life-stealy boy. So I think I might start attacking with the rest of the team, leave back like the 2-4 and the 2-1 next turn. Yep. Well, he ain't blocking, so may as well get him attacking. Let little dude do some work. God, we're just going to pressure our opponent here. I think that we don't have time to just keep messing around with a Cookbook here. I think we'll just put both these in play, gain more lives. I think we're completely safe now and at the point where we can just start activating Cookbook. So now our opponent can set up a double block. I'm not sure what activates back. Maybe they've just got like nothing else to do. Oh, that's good for us. It's like boot this. Yeah. Cowards, warriors, etc. Block the 5-4. Okay. So we've now got 2 of these floating, which makes activating Cookbook next turn very exciting. But this Rizahn was great. Yeah, Rizahn really did the job. I wasn't expecting to win that because our opening hand was just sort of awful, but we managed to get there. Like, this feels very nice to ever win like Cookbook mirrors. 93 points. Well, if we win, we're going to be mastering, so that's nice. I think we can play some of the meme decks I've been thinking of. Uh-oh, against one of the masters. Well, this sounds awful. I like having Harsh Wheel in opening hand because you can sort of build around it, but it's like 2 Dark Returns and no units. We need to draw extremely well. Give him the old good evening. Yeah, I have not got very high hopes for this hand. We need to sort of desperately find some crests just to make this actually functional. I suppose just lead with the torch. Well, not torch, the fire source. So it's probably better to lead with the shadow source so that when we have the fast build up next turn, I'm not sure if it's torch or annihilate, but yeah, they'd have to play something that this matters. If they play something that's just getting zapped with annihilate anyway. Would very much like our opponents to be playing some sort of Nightfall deck so we can sort of draw out of this. That would be... I'd be very happy if that was the case. But sort of slow Stone Sky deck? Yeah, because we need a lot to happen now, because we need like a Justice source and Fire and Shadow sources. Shakedown? Grading Drone. Well, that's the start. Crest Adventure's the start. We get to bottom anything that's not power. Justice source will do. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Just because I think missing a power is worse than missing an influence. Because at least we get to move forwards towards something. Character Merchant Rats. It's Grandins. We're going to get ground out. Like, in that case, how good is our Annihilate in this matchup? Because they also have Stone Sky Scrapper. But Torch is really good against Scrap Tank. I feel just boot place just so we're not going to get attacked for it next turn. Maybe we should not, just because we can... I just have to count problem. Go away. Maybe we shouldn't, because we could have just like blocked with this, but just need tether and blocking here anyway. Oh yes, Nightfall. Give it to me. I'm hoping this is like one of my lists that's got Nightfall in it. Okay, cool. Our opponent's not attacking, so I feel like we're in okay shape here. Can't play Zuberi. Happy to trade here. Just gain some lives, get Destiny back in the deck, and not give our opponent an opportunity to like Madness devour this. So if our opponent Madnesses it, I'd probably end up having to torch it just because I don't want our opponent to have our Destiny units. Well, I ain't slaying nothing. Hopefully I just like slam Scrap Tank. That'd be absolutely stone cold perfect for me because then I could just like torch it. Dark Turn. Yes, it's fine. Maybe that's a reason not to be so aggressive, like killing the Merchant, just because it is potentially a deck that plays Dark Turns. I don't think any of my Grading decks played that. We do have like a catch-up mechanic later on in the game because we do have a Harsh Roll. Yeah, I'll sit back now because we'll be happy to just like snap this trade off. Even if our opponent could have like got more Dark Turns or ways of recursion. Okay, so what is it? Vicious Highwayman. Well, with the trigger, we'll just boot this. Probably get some attackers will like the other stuff, and it feels like they've got a torch here because they do have a pause. But that's sort of fine. Guess our Stonepowder floating. Would really like a fire source just because we can do something with our hand, because just having like... Oh, there we go. Okay, just having mono like... Do I just play the Highwayman just to get that torch out of the hand? And I think I don't. Just because if I just play as a Zuberi, like, the torch doesn't do anything. Like, obviously they can still Madness Devour. They can't Madness Combust me yet. Madness makes it awkward, like whether you play more stuff or not. But we do know that one of their cards is a torch. Yeah, so we've got Madness, top unit of their deck's going to get +4 power, which is relatively awful for us. But if our opponent can't really commit much more to the board now, because obviously like all their power's going to be taken up doing that. We're going to take a bunch of damage. We're taking 9. So, yeah. Yeah, I would have preferred they didn't have our Zuberi. Because it's probably quite a lot better for them than having... Oh, they just gave it back. Okay. In that case, I'll just attack you then. Is it Combust they've got? Well, I mean, I'm not going to just not play cards, because that just seems nonsense. Okay, Shakedown takes Slay, which is pretty bad for us, but we do get to double draw then. I mean, Slay's sort of awful unless they've got something big in. Ah, okay, so they went and fetched Combust. So maybe it's a little bit hasty on that. They get to attack us for 4 here. We take 5 in total because of Nightfall. We've still got that torch, so we don't get to gain any lives off our Vicious Highwayman. We'd really like to draw our Stonepowder Alchemist and have it have double damage. That'd be perfect. Opponent shouldn't have too much in the way of charge here. Do we just rule? Just stop everything? Just do this for like the next couple of turns? I think we rule. I don't really want to rule. But we know our opponent's already got a torch, so it's like, we're basically at 4 anyway. And we've got like multiple rules. I just like our opponent to sort of like tap out for something so we can gain some lives with our Vicious Highwayman. Okay, so we've got Dark Return. What can it do? Very little. I also want to be able to hold up Annihilate in case there is another Madness. I'll just do this because then we'll get the torch out of our opponent's hand. Because they're really incentivized just to torch here. Cool. We gained 4. I'm not going to get cute with Zuberi. I'm just going to get Highwayman now. There's no point pretending we've got something up when we've not. And then hopefully if our opponent's not got another torch or anything like that. Oh! It's not Grenadines. This is like a Scream deck and they've just had like an awful hand. Okay, well, in that case... I've just been talking nonsense all this time. Well, we'll get to game 5. We can be dead at any point from this deck now that they've got Primal Source. That's pretty scary. But we're still very live for Rizahn. I mean, if Rizahn ends the game, this is a really nerve-wracking game because this is like the old 93-pointer. So if you lose it, you have to win 2 to actually get in. Obviously, you have to win 2 anyway because you go -1 to +2, but still, it's just like absolutely crushing. Oh no. What have they got? Well, they can't gain lives, that's important. They've got 8 damage here. There's the Dusk Raider that they must have had so long ago. Can they find a torch? I mean, I hope not. Okay, so we might have done it. We did it. Well, I mean, I'd made our opponent just had like terrible influence there and just couldn't like get anywhere with it. But there we go. What rate am I going at? I want to see my number. I don't want all this like claim your rewards nonsense. Ranked 3. There we go. That's one for the old Twitters. That's not that. You see, like, just unranked in draft. Every single month, just like, nope. Well, whoop. I must have had like a really good run here. Okay, so there we have it. This deck was sweet. It managed to pull it out of the bag in opportunities where I thought we just had no chance to win that game. Just absolutely wild. I suppose that's sort of things that are going to happen when you're just playing like sort of high rolly cards like Zuberi and like Stonepowder Alchemist. But yeah, I was really impressed by the deck. I like that it's sort of gone small. It's tightened like the curve up, just to be able to sort of play earlier in the game. And of course, everything is still like the best things that you can really do at that spot. Like, Rizahn's just really good. This deck is just, I think I was saying in the video at some point, it's got a lot of cards in it that when you first see them, you're just like, what's this nonsense? Like, what is this like fan created card like Rizahn? Like, Flying Reckless, like, why free spells? Like, whatever. And Zuberi, where you're just like, yep, that is a card that exists and you'll never get anywhere with it. But altogether, it just sort of works, especially like the Cauldron Cookbook. And, you know, you don't have to activate the Cookbook every turn, but you just sort of really just tapping out every single turn. Just play all your power and just play all of your cards out, and eventually you should be able to get the job done. But thanks for watching. I've been That Resolves, and I'll see you around.